Now we will see types of languages and the levels of programming languages. This is also called as a generation of programming languages. So here first we will see what is a language. What do you mean by language? If we want to communicate with any person, we require one language. That may be English, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada and so on. So here to communicate with your persons, we need some language. In the same way, if we want to communicate with the machine, computer, then we require a programming language. Programming language is how we can talk to computer. A programming language is set of rules that provides a way of telling a computer what operations to perform. So if you want to perform any operation, you require a one language, that is nothing but a programming language. So here to communicate with a machine, we require a programming languages. English is a natural language. It has words, symbols and grammatic rules. A programming language, in the same way, a programming language also consists words, symbols and rules of grammar. Grammatic rules are called syntax. So if you want to speak English, you should know what are the symbols, what are the words, symbols and grammatic rules. In the same way, if you want to communicate with the computer, you should know what are the keywords used, what are the symbols used and grammatic rules, which is nothing but you should follow the syntax of that particular programming language. Each programming language has different set of syntax rules. Some of the programming languages are C, C++, Java and so on. Now we will see levels of the programming language. First level is nothing but a machine language. This is also called as a first generation language. And next is assembly language. It is also called as a second generation language. Next one is high level language. It is also called as a third generation language. First we will see machine language. It is also called as a first generation of programming language. Here all the instructions are in the form of binary. So machine language, in the machine language, they use to write all the instructions will be in the form of zeros and ones, which can be directly understood by the computer without translating them is called machine code. So here all the user is used to write the programming language by using binary, okay, machine code, zeros and ones. They use to write all the code that easily can be understood by the computer. So here there is no translator required. What do you mean by translator? Means whatever the program you have written, if you have written program in high level language or assembly language, that cannot be understood by the computer directly. So it requires a one translator. So here we are writing the instructions in the form of a machine code only, which can be directly understood by the computer. So here no need of translator. Now we will see advantages. Machine language runs very fast because no translation program is required. So it directly that machine language code is understood by the machine. So here no translator is required. That is the main advantage. And now we will see disadvantage. Difficult to modify and find the errors. So if any error is there, we write everything will be in the form of zeros and ones. So it is very difficult to modify and finding the error also. It is very difficult to write a program in machine language. Everything you should write in the form of zeros and ones. So it is very difficult to write. It can be used by experts only and time also consumes. This is about the machine level language. Now we will see assembly language. Assembly language is also known as a second generation of programming language. All the instructions using symbols, mnemonics, numbers, abbreviations. So if you want to write any instruction, that should be used by symbols or mnemonics, numbers, abbreviations. By using this, we write the assembly language. For example, sub is used for subtraction. Add is used for addition. Mul is used for multiplication, and so on. So here, in the assembly language, if we want to write any program, we will use this mnemonic symbols. Okay. So here, programming code, these symbols cannot be understood by the machine directly. So it requires one translator. The translator we are using here as a assembler. Whatever the program code you have written, that will be taken by the assembler and it will be converted into the object code which can be understood by the machine. So here what are the advantages means, assembly language uses symbols, mnemonics for programming rather than the zeros and ones, which makes easier to write. So instead of remembering machine code, for example, for addition code will be 010, 010, 0100 and so on, and for subtraction 110, 001. Instead of remembering this binary numbers, you can remember easily add, sub, mnemonics you can easily remember. So here it is easier. Okay, programming is easier rather than the machine level language in the assembly language. Errors can be identified easily compared to the first generation language. So here errors also we can easily identify in the first generation language. Next one, disadvantages. Programs written in this language cannot understandable computer, so translator should be used. Here whatever the programs you have written that cannot be understood by the computer, so we need a one translator, that is nothing but a assembler we need. Now we will see one more disadvantage is there. Programmer should know its mnemonic codes to perform any task. If programmer should remember all the mnemonics to perform any particular task. For example, if you want to do the multiplication of two numbers, he know what is a multiplication mnemonic, all that. So remembering all that mnemonics is little bit difficult. This is about assembly language. Now we will see high level language, third generation language. It is also called as a third generation language. High level language closely resembles to human language or English like words. So here third generation is implemented like by using English like words. It is easier to learn and requires less time to write and easier to maintain errors. So here it requires less time to write and easily we can maintain the errors also. So here we write the program by using high level language. That high level language cannot be understood by the computer, so it requires one translator. That translator maybe we use here compiler or interpreter. So this compiler will convert the high level language into the object code or machine code which can be understood by the computer. Now we will see advantages of the high level language. Because of flexibility, able to solve variety of problems. So here it is very flexible to write this high level languages and we can solve many problems by using this high level language, and it is easy to learn, easy to understand, write, debug. Debug is nothing but a checking the errors and so on. Disadvantages. What are the disadvantage means? It is easier but needs higher processor and larger memory. So here it is easy only but it requires higher processor and larger memory. It needs to be translated, therefore its execution time is more. So whatever the instructions we write in the high level language that cannot be understood by the programmer, that cannot be understood by the computer, so here it requires a one translator. So execution time is more in the high level language. Some of the high level languages are like C and C++. Please subscribe to my channel, comment me.